Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to Khuley Vichaar. Today with us is Meher Kaur, my sister, Meri Dharam di Bhain, and she became a Sikh. So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਣਾਇਆ ਆ ਤੇ ਚਲੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਸਲਾਮ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਸੀਗੇ, he was Muslim, so by marriage she was a Muslim, and after so I don't want to get too much into it. I want her to kind of explain these things. So Meher Kaur, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And can you kind of tell us about your journey, spiritual journey, and your life story? Because we want to tell the audience, like, you know, the spiritual part. Like, just tell us how you felt and what came into you. You know, like what kind of got to where you knew, okay, this is it. So can you please kind of like tell us about it?
So I'm going to disclose here. So I'm 46 years old. So when I was 6, I remember sitting outside looking at the sky and saying, okay, what's my role in life? Where do I belong? And where I was at in my life, where, you know, my current family, I felt like an orphan. I felt like I didn't belong. And that has been the narrative until I found Sikhi a year ago. And so I went through every religion possible. So Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, everything. But nothing ever sat in my heart. It was always like this void that I wasn't home. And that's why I say I was an orphan. And then I remember June 21st, I was coming back from Fresno. And I felt this need to ask, again, the universe, where do I belong? I was actually leaving to Bosnia on the 22nd, but I didn't feel right. I felt like I was going to die. And like my greatest fear was that I would come back. And even though the religions that I had previously been in don't believe in reincarnation, since I was little, I believed in that. And so I said, oh God, please lead me to my home. And so I Googled the nearest religious place, and it gave me the Livingston Gurdwara. And I said, okay, so I put GPS, and then I got there, and I remember I was wearing a burgundy sweater and gray slacks, and my hair was down. And so I go to the Gurdwara, you know, I had lipstick on, the whole shindig. And then there was a guy there, and I was like, oh, Sastrikal, because I knew that much because I had Punjabi friends in the past. And I said, oh, I want to learn. I go, I'm here to learn. And he didn't understand me, so he put the little cover on me, and then he walked me into the Gurdwara. And then he went to the Babaji and told him, you know, and he gave me a penny, I remember. And then so I went in front of Guruji and I did Mata. And then it felt so right. I've had friends, actually my sister-in-law, she also became Sikh. But she had always wanted to come to Sikhi, and she's African-American, but she was always embarrassed or like, oh, I'm not going to be accepted, or I don't know anything. And I didn't know anything, but I took it upon myself to go because...
Yeah, Sikhi accepts everybody.
Yeah,
so we accept anybody that wants to come in and be one with them. So
yeah, and then they were like, oh my God, what about your tattoos, this, that, and the other? I didn't care. I was like, you know what? This energy is calling me, and it feels right to be here. And I said, I don't care if people like me or not. I'm not here for people. I'm here because that energy is calling me here. And that energy is Waheguru. And so I started learning there, and then that's how I met my brother. And then I remember that first Sunday. So it was on a Tuesday that I went there, and then every day after that. And then the first Sunday I was there, that morning I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I asked God, I said, am I in the right place? Mind you, I had already not gone to Bosnia. I had spent money on my tickets. I was going to be there for like 14 days. Hotels, everything booked. So I lost on that money, but the money's nothing for the reward that I got. Because that Sunday at 4 o'clock, I said, God, is this where I'm supposed to be at? Is this my home? And then I went to the Gurdwara, and when I went in, they were playing a Shabbat. Basically, it said that, you know, you don't have to come back into the cycle of reincarnation if you basically give your head to Guru. And then that was my answer.
So it was like, it was amazing because that's the first time we met. And then she was like emotional at the time. And then she was telling like, well, I finally got my answer. Now I want to become Amrishak. And what's the process? Like, what do I do? Like, and then I was telling Baba, he's like, hey, this is the questions he has, you know? And then we're like, everybody, as a congregation, we're like, even, and then we said like, yeah, you know, you don't have to, if you from inside you feel like you're ready, then you're ready because you're there, right? So ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ 4 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਆ, ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਵਾਕਿਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਹੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਣ ਆਏ ਨਾ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਚੱਲਣ ਡਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਸ਼ੀ ਰੈਡ ਦ, ਜਦੋਂ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਲਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ 'ਤੇ, ਐਂਡ ਸ਼ੀ ਬ੍ਰੋਕ ਡਾਊਨ ਲਾਈਕ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਿਰਾਗ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਸੋ ਉਹ ਵਿਰਾਗ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਫੁੱਟੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼ ਟਾਕ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਫਰੋਮ ਦ ਇਨਸਾਈਡ, ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਦੀ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਫੁੱਟੇ ਜੀ, ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਫੁੱਟੇ। ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਟ ਸ਼ੀ ਗਾਟ। ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ and then she recently she went to Panjab, so ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਚਿਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ। And then so talk about like you went to Punjab because you had the craving to go to like see Harmandir Sahib, Hajur Sahib, and tell us about the journey। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕੀ ਚਣਕ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਲਾਈਕ ਕੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੀ, ਲਾਈਕ how did you what's the feeling, the different feeling you had when you went to Darbar Sahib? How did you feel? Like yeah, we go to the Gurdwara, it's like I don't want to like say ki Gurdwaras, but we call it Sachkhand for us as a Sikh, kyunki hi कहने हैं भी दरबार साहब साडा हिरदा है ना। So we as a Sikh we believe that the Darbar Sahib is our heart, and then if we want to lay our life down, like lay our head down for something, ये सिर देना भी है कि ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ का ਵੀ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਾਡੀ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਿ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ like every Sikh wants to like sacrifice, they want to sacrifice for Darbar Sahib, fighting and like defending it, because we even have so much history, you know, like Baba Deep Singh Ji, Baba Gurbakh Singh Ji, even recently like Baba Janal Singh Ji, where they actually fought to defend their rights, and it was at Darbar Sahib. And so kind of please tell me about it, like what was like your experience, like because I understand like the Punjab, like we Punjabis go, we born into it, you know, we sometimes we miss the message, but then you went there first time and you like what's the difference, like how you felt, like tell me something amazing about it, the amazing experience out there, like just tell.
It's emotional.
Yeah, don't worry, like just
it was the whole thing, how it happened. I wasn't supposed to go. My daughter was going to go, and I was supposed to go in November, and she couldn't because she was having some health issues. And so I was like, okay, well, let me just go. And then I got a ticket overnight and I left. And so I couldn't believe it because I hadn't even planned. I swear to God, I took 3 outfits. That's it, 3 outfits. I had 2 suitcases. I knew I was going to come back with stuff, right? And so I took my 2 suitcases, 3 ensembles because I didn't have time to pack. Then I called you, right? And I'm like, oh my God, brother, I'm going to India. You're like, what? That we were supposed to go. I was
surprised, like you're supposed to go like a month later. And then.
Yeah, and so once I got there, I went to New Delhi, and then after that I landed in Amritsar, and it just felt like I was home. Everything about everything, it was like a recollection of memories that you just feel that like, oh my God, I've been here before feeling. And that's why I tell you guys, like, I feel like an orphan, and I was like, I was home. It didn't feel like I was in a different country. It didn't feel like, thank you, brother. It didn't feel like it was foreign, you know?
So you kind of felt belonging there, like it was
yeah,
like
you know, like second nature.
We could go back to that same question when you got up at 4 o'clock and you asked, like, do I belong here? And then you went there, did it kind of hit you like, oh?
No, that solidified it for me even more because it didn't feel awkward. And mind you, I'm the only one that looks like this, and then people are looking at you, but it wasn't like looking at me like, oh, you know what I mean? Looking at me like, you know? And like, obviously my idea and the whole thing is not to, I want attention, you know? But it's just everything like, oh my God, I had to cross streets. You guys obviously are familiar with over there. And it wasn't like I was scared. Here, I'm scared to cross the street. Here, I would never allow somebody to ride me in the back in a motorcycle. I would ride myself. And so basically over there, it's like I closed my eyes. Everything was just like, you know, I feel so comfortable and safe, even at nighttime, going here, there, and everywhere. It just felt right. And then, you know, going to the Gurdwara and walking in, it was just, I cannot describe the feeling. It's like maybe like parents may relate when they see their little firstborn baby. And they're like, oh my God, it's so magical, you know, life. I created life. So for me, it was like coming into my life, being like give, you know, when you give birth, it's like that the newness, the freshness, and you see everything like in full color, and then you feel the energy. And like he said, a lot of people get that are born in Sikhi. I found that oh, it's just a religion, but it's not. It's not a religion. It's not just a religion. I mean, this way of life gives you everything that women, children, elderly, everybody has a place in it, okay? And even as far as what we here in America have, like the Second Amendment, right,
like
to carry guns.
You know about Mata Bhag, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a Sikh warrior who actually led Sikhs when they went back for Fort Grimsby from Guru Gobind Singh Ji. She fought at the Khadrani di Tab.
Mm-hmm.
She's known Sikh. And usually, if you go to like Hajur Sahib, you've probably seen her guns. And
Yes, I did. They're
saying
massive.
Like, okay, they ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਪਾਕ ਕੌਰ ਦੀ gun ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਮ ਬੰਦਾ ਚੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ. Like you cannot lift that gun.
No.
That's how heavy it is.
It's from here to here.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
it's
big gun.
huge.
Like,
You
like,
cannot even imagine like how massive it is. And then they have a picture of her there, and you just see her strength, her courage. But that's not because of herself. It's because Guru's with her. Everything, everything, all the saints, everything. And I believe that we have that power. Every Sikh has the power to command and, you know, be filled with that energy. And that's what I felt when I was in Punjab, the energy of everybody who's been there before me. And, you know, it goes again to that it's our hukam to carry weapons. It's our hukam, it's our right, even before America initiated that, the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes I feel like they borrowed it from us. So
yeah, but anything great will be copied.
I can tell them like, yeah, you guys borrowed that from us, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, everything
yeah,
great will be copied.
Yeah, because that's a big issue right now. Is like people don't understand the importance of owning a weapon, having a weapon, and being part of something that trains you. Like we have Sikh Rifle Association,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to like get our a lot of times, like when we talk about weapons, like they're like always like trying to say, no, not the weapons, not the weapons. But then, like what I felt like as a Sikh or just as a human being, you know, sometimes I feel like that's our God-given right, you know. Even like Guru Gobind Ji said, like when all means fail, it's our right is to pick up a weapon and fight for justice and to defend ourselves. If the law can't defend us. And I'll just go back because we just had this event that just took place. The 4 members of one family just got killed mercifully, like, you know, ruthless killing. Because they had a weapon. The guy that killed them had a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why people don't want to, like, nobody wants to look into that. Like the judicial system. All they have been doing is passing laws to free the criminals and take our guns away.
Exactly.
I even say that, hey, you know what? Who gives them the right to take my guns away when I haven't done anything bad, but they can't take that gun away from the guy that's a criminal? Mm-hmm. That only thing he's thinking about is I'm gonna try to probably rob somebody, kill somebody, or do something stupid, you know. And excuse my language. So do something that's not like we don't imagine, because I want to buy a gun to protect my family, to protect my rights, because what I believe, like. Even Guruji say like je tu shanti चाहना तो लड़ने वास्ते तैयार हो जा. You know, if you want peace, you get ready to fight a war, to fight, defend. And I think the weapon brings peace, and it gives me better, like, you know, like when I'm walking down the street, it gives me better like feeling where I'm protected. You know, like even like Sikhi that like they tell their daughters like rakhdi bande jaake. That I understand. That's part of our that culture of that area. Like, you know, the part kind of like South Asia is part of that culture. But I don't want my daughter growing up thinking I must tie this to get protected. No, like Mata Bakar, she fought in the battle, you know. And I remember the story, like, because some things don't get written in the books. कुछ चीज़ां जड़ियां तानू पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी दित्तियां जांदियां. Your family, when you sit down in the fireplace and you talk about these things, stories. And they said कि माता पा कौर नू एक मुगल ने ना देखा भी ये औरत लड़ रही है. Like वो लड़ रही सी, उन्हें मुंह cover कीता. She had her face covered. So he grabbed her. He at the battle when they're going at it, and then the face cover fell off, and then he realized it was a lady. And then he tried to treat her like a lady. So he tried to ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪੱਤ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, and then she grabbed the sword and just ripped him in half. And ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਬੜੀ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਨਾਲ ਚਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਨਾ. And then ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੇ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡਣੇ ਅਜੀ ਜੰਗ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ, I feel proud ਕਿ not just my sons are ready, even my daughters are ready now. And I think you could probably, because I know you love weapons, and you always talk about, like we need to be Shaster Tari. Kind of like tell your perspective, like, because I'm a man, like a lot of times when they say, oh, you're a guy, you don't understand the woman side of कि तू बीबियां दी गल किदा कर सकदा ना, एक औरत है, you're a woman, and yeah, Sikhi doesn't different, like, okay, lady or a kid, like a son or a daughter, but just give us a side of like, why should a woman carry a weapon too? Like Guruji said, equal, like if equal rights, we always talk about women's equal right, and as a guy or as a male, I get to carry a city sab, so do you.
Of course.
And then but like a lot of now is like they rather do gidda and stuff like that, but kind of like tell us about it, like how you feel about ladies becoming Shastatari, and why should they do it?
That's a part of the community that unfortunately culturally in Punjab, obviously I'm not Punjabi, so I have a different mentality, and I think that's one of the things that attracted me to Sikhi, because it's very transparent, very clear that it states that everybody in Sikhi has the right to have Shaster, to carry kirpan. And I mean, as we spoke about earlier, Mata Bhag Kaur, she was a leader and men followed her. So as women and mothers, we are raising children, we are raising our boys. And I think becoming a member of
Sikh Rifle Association,
it's important.
You even represent, like, you're the representative for the women.
Oh, why do you embarrass me, my brother?
So yes. Tell us more about that now.
Yeah, so I'm a member and I'm also the representative. And basically what we're trying to do here is let women know that you don't just belong in the kitchen. Because there's this thing that my friend told me one day was like, okay, you give matches to a monk, he's going to burn down the village. But obviously matches are good if used correctly, to cook, to create fire to cook, and fire to keep everybody warm. So women play a big role in this community, and we cannot downplay the role that we play. Therefore, it is our responsibility as mothers, as Sikhs, to learn how to use our kirpan, how to use not only a gun, but different types of weapons, and know that anything can be used as a weapon. Even this pen can be used as a weapon if you know how. But if you let fear take over and you're not trained, flight is going to take over. And then your family will be dead. So it's important for us to remember the women in history and Sikh history that came before us and look to them as an example to pick up our arms, because it's in our hukam. We're not being violent. Violence is only in the mindset of those who use those weapons for violence. We're not using them for violence. We're using them to protect our children. We're using them to protect Sikhi. And if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us? Nobody. So it's up to us to go ahead and wake up and get with the program.
If a Sikh really wants to see me, he must wear his shasters, And then he even said this, that if the person that does not carry a weapon is like a sheep, anybody could grab him by the ears and just take him anywhere. ਕਿ ਭੇਡੂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਭੇਡੂ ਆ ਤੇ ਭੇਡੂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਧਰ ਮਰਜੀ ਕੰਨ ਤੋਂ ਫੜੋ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ, So that's like she said, like ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੀ ਹੁਣੀ, ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਾਂਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਤਿੱਲੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਸਾਰਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਹੀ ਫੂਕ ਦੂਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਬਾਂਦਰ ਆ ਨਾ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਜੇ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਇਨਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਈਏ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਮਝਦਾਰ ਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, like Guru Ji gave us like the siddhant, like the everything, how to use the weapon, why use the weapon. Like I famously will quote Sant Jarnail Singh here. He said, Sikh ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਗਰੀਬ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਆ, ਲੁੱਟ ਮਾਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਪਾਪ ਆ. ਪਰ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕ ਨਾ ਲੈਣੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਨਾ ਲੜਨਾ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਵੀ ਪਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ. A Sikh who carries a weapon and destroys property, kills innocent, takes innocent lives and becomes like a hoodlum And that's like the biggest sin for a Sikh. And then on the other hand is a Sikh who carries a weapon, he becomes a protector for the people, not just his own, everybody. If we don't do that, that's considered a bigger sin. That's even bigger sin than, and then carrying a weapon, doing something stupid. That's even bigger sin, because we were made to protect, not just us. Yeah, we should, because we got a weapon. We're trained to do that, but our duty is to protect others too.
Yeah,
So,
regardless of religion or anything, we're supposed to protect the ones that are weaker than us.
You're also the represent for the women wing for the SRA, right?
Yes.
Sikh Rifle Association. So kind of give us like little, like, give some points, like what's the duty of SRA and what everything, you know?
So basically the goal is for both women and men, is to promote Shaster Vida, which is a science of weaponry and also how to use it. So we're not an organization that's being irresponsible or promoting violence, like most people will say, oh yeah, this is a violent organization, or God forbid, a terrorist organization. That's not what we're here for. We're here
like
to
militia?
educate. Yeah,
Like
a militia, God forbid, right? So a militia, but no, we're not, because if you educate somebody, they're not monkeys anymore. They're thinking wise men and wise women, and that's what we want to create, because we are Sikhs, and it's in our hukam to carry weapons, do Shaster, have Kirpan, okay? And then the second part is to protect the communities, not only Sikh community, but anybody around us, whether it be Muslim, Christians, Buddhist, what have you, whoever's in danger, and if we're there to help and protect, that's what we will do, because that's part of what being a Sikh is. And then the third point is to facilitate also ourselves, the face of the Sikh Rifle Association, in other mediums like the NRA, that's with training kids, youth, ourselves in shooting, how to shoot, and doing competitions. I mean, there's a different aspect of this. It's not like just, oh, we're gonna, start taking over, neighborhoods and, neighborhood watch and have guns. And no, that's not what we're about. We want to also do what the NRA does, but all in Punjabi, because I think me coming into Sikhi, I see that there's a great divide in the fact that a lot of Sikhs don't know a lot of the basic rights that they have living in America, like the Second Amendment, and they don't exercise that, or the freedom of speech.
And then a lot of them don't even know how to get a license, and they don't even know if they could get a licensed gun, and they could get a license to carry, and they could, like a lot of truck drivers, like as a community is truck drivers. You can get a license to carry in 48 states, and you can carry with you, and anywhere you go, you're protected. And I think that's a big thing, right?
Yeah, so it's the CCW for California. So basically, it's the right to carry a concealed weapon, which is really easy. If you have a clean record, basically all you have to do is go to the sheriff's department, first take a class in how to handle a gun, get a gun, then you're going to qualify with it. Once you qualify with it, you get a certificate from the gun shop that issued it. Then you go to the sheriff's department. They'll give you a packet that you have to fill out. Then after a background check and whatnot, they'll issue your license. So it's really not a hard process. It's just that people, like I said, are not exercising these rights. And the more tragic things that happen is a flip side. So right now they can say, with the tragedy that happened in the Sikh community recently with the 4 people that died, my condolences to the family, is this: oh, weapons are bad. They're going to start demonizing weapons. But had those 4 people, one of them at least, had a weapon, you had to take your chances. And yeah, maybe one of them would have died, but the other 3 would have lived. So it's like that 50-50. But if you are not educated and you let fear take over and you're not going to do something about it and fight for your life, then basically you're at the mercy of criminals, and anybody can just come. I'll share a personal story. Look, about 2 months ago, my sons got a gun pulled at them at a stop sign by some rando that wanted to pass them up. They had 3 other friends. So 5 kids under the age of 18, boys, could have been dead. This is the society that we live in. So it's not isolated situations that are happening, because it even happened in my family. So nobody is without the possibility of this happening to them. So what better way to at least be able to sleep at night and say, you know what, if anything were to happen, at least I can protect my family. especially women, because 9 out of 10, our men are outside working and we're left with the responsibility of the household. So why not have a gun? Why not know how to use, I don't know, machete, a knife, anything to protect your family? That's our right as women, to be the lions when our men are out. So if not, then what? Call the cops 911. 9 out of 10, they don't answer because they're so busy.
Up on time. They're
It's not so much that they don't want to show up. It's just that our police departments are being depleted because of politics, right? So it's up to us to
raise
use
that voice, right?
and use our Second Amendment right, which is to protect the lives of our family members, to be able to have guns.
And we should speak up, reforming a lot of those things where they're trying to take our guns away. All this time, we should go protest those things, and because those are rights. Those are our rights to protect ourselves. We're not gonna buy a gun to go shoot up a market just because. No, we want to protect ourselves, and we will use it if we need to.
Yeah, guns are demonized for a reason because they want to take our rights. Like this situation that just recently happened could be used to demonize guns and gun control. But if we're smart about it and we open our eyes and say, no, we're not going to demonize guns, we're actually going to do the opposite. We're going to glorify the fact that thank God, we live in America and we have the Second Amendment right, and we should use it.
And then, hey, you got a choice. You want to be a sheep or you want to be a lion. Mm-hmm. So you make a choice. And then I'm not saying the death doesn't come to a lion, but I rather have that death where Bhag Kabir says, "Marta marta jagmoya mar bina janya koi aisi marni jo mare baur na marna hoy." I want to fight that death. I want to get that death where I don't have to die again. Mm-hmm. The whole world dies. That's what he's saying. He goes, the whole world dies, but people don't realize the real death that actually gets you free from death. And that's if you know the right way, you know. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go in the battlefield, you know, fighting, getting shot in my chest, you know, and dying for the right cause instead of just getting killed or getting
slaughtered, honey. Slaughtered. It's not even killed.
No, yeah. I don't want to be a sheep. I'm a lion. I'll live 2 days as a lion, then 100 days as a sheep.
Yeah, at least you'll go with that. Yeah. At least you go fighting. Pride,
you know?
Yeah.
If I want to live, I'll live with the pride. And if I have to die, I'll die for the right cause. Die for my religion. Die for the nation. So I'd rather do that. So, hey, yeah, another thing I forgot. I wanted to bring that up because this podcast is about you. So you went to Punjab. And you visited Dalpant and Nihang Singhs, you know,
yes.
Tarna Dal, Sri Har Kishan Sahib Ji, they're called Shote Khali. You had the experience. Come on, tell us a little bit about it. And then there's something special too that they gave you something that a lot of people don't know. So I want you to tell us about it. You know that what was like the experience?
So basically, I went there to visit and. The brothers there, they were very welcoming, and it was such a magical experience. And in my blessing from Babaji, he basically told me what I already knew in my heart, which was like, you're home, you're finally home. And that just solidified everything that since I was 6 years old, I've been feeling and, you know, believing in my heart that I was a little orphan. And then now I came home and I was like, I don't know if you guys have watched that movie Salt, when she's coming back to the barge and then all the brothers, they're like, oh, welcome back, sister. That's how I felt. Like she'd been gone for so long and then now all the brotherhood's welcoming her back.
Yeah, you were like kind of like the missing piece. Like you're like, I'm the missing piece. I'm back now.
Yeah. So it was very special. And what even made it more special is that I actually got a license, right?
The license to carry like the special license for Nihang Singhs, like ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਈਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਛੋਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਵਰਸ਼ਾ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ 'ਚ ਕੈਰੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੈਰੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਸੋ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਕੋ ਇੱਕ ਆ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਰਘਬੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਜਹੇਦਾਰ ਬਾਬਾ ਰਘਬੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਮਿਸਲ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਮੁਖੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ like what she presented to him, you know, like what he felt like. So, tell him about the Shardai. You had that drink, right? That's like the kind of like the best part of it. Like, you tell him about it. Tell him the experience you had when you like.
So basically, they bring me this iron bowl, and mind you, it's super big, right? So I'm thinking there's about 30 people in here. I'm like, okay, we're gonna pass it around and share, right?
Nah, you're
No, that
drinking
was
it.
all for me. And then I tasted it. They were at first they were like, oh, maybe she's not gonna drink it. Oh my God, it was so super delicious. I literally drank the whole thing, and I was like, wow, is there more?
So, anyways, you
Yeah.
want to give us like your final message because you're our sister. You joined the Sikhi, and you see Sikhi from different prospect, like different side. You know, the side view that we haven't seen it because we're kind of blessed to be born in it, and that kind of be like sometimes we miss the true meaning of it, and then you probably know more like that meaning for you, like something that you feel like that we should do that we're leaving behind. You know.
So basically, my message would be that because I come from the outside, I know what I've been missing. I mean, everybody who's born into Sikhi, they already have those measures implemented in the religion in their daily lives. Forget about culture, just based on the hukams. So I think as Sikhs, we need to revisit the old ways and forget about the new ways and trying to assimilate to whatever culture we're living in because we don't live in Punjab. We don't live in Amritsar or in a Sikh state, for lack of a better word. Therefore, we have to make ourselves aware of every right that we've been given as Sikhs, and we have to go ahead and embrace them and not be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed to wear damala. Don't be embarrassed to wear chola. I mean,
Hey, yeah, remember you
I
have a
asked
story.
them, oh
Remember,
my God,
you
for
had
a
a
whole
story when
year
somebody
asking them,
told you
right?
that why you wearing city stuff from outside. Remember
Yeah.
that story? They told you about it, and then why don't you kind of tell them like, did you feel like what did you feel like even sick like a sick woman came up to you and said, "Hey, why are you wearing from outside?" And
Yeah.
what was the feeling? What did you feel like when they said that to you? How
I
did you feel
actually felt
about them
sorry for
too?
her because I was like, okay, she doesn't know like how hard it was to go through my life the way it did. Everything that I had to go through as a little orphan outside in the world without Sikhi, and I finally came to it. So I was very proud to have my desire to wear what I was wearing, and for her to come up to me and be like, "Oh no, you don't have to show that you have kirpan. Oh no, you don't have to show that you're Sikh." I'm like, I'm sorry. The whole point is because Guru said, "Wear my roop," and that's what I'm doing because it's a hukam.
Yeah.
This is not a Halloween costume that I'm just gonna wear now and then or to show off to people. If people like it, good, and if they don't like it, too bad. Don't look at me, point blank. That's all it is. And if we are not proud to be Sikh from the heart, and we stop caring about what people think of us, we're never gonna rise as a nation. We're never gonna have anything that is our right to have as Sikhs.
ਸੋ ਲਾਈਕ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਗਏ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਤਾ ਹਨਾ ਬੀਬੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਈ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਪਾਓ ਥੱਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਓ ਤੂੰ ਚੋਲਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਹਨਾ ਇੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਣਾ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਵੀ ਆਮ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨਣ ਡੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਦੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਜੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨਾਂਗੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਛੱਡਾਂਗੇ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਚੋਲਾ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਇਹਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ 18ਵੀਂ ਸਦੀ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੀ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਐਜ਼ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਕੌਮ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੌਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉੱਠ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੋ yeah I mean that's something like as a Sikh we kind of feel like a lot of times we feel like oh if we wear the mala how are they going to feel about us so so
It shouldn't matter. You should only care what Guruji thinks. You should only care what that's the only thing that's the ultimate. And if you don't believe that he is the ultimate and that all due respect is given to him, then you don't have anything.
ਸੋ ਅਖੀਰ 'ਚ ਇਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਹਟੀ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਡਾ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਪੂਰੇ ਕੌਮੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਪੱਧਰ 'ਤੇ ਹੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਉੱਠ ਸਕਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨਾਂਗੇ So at the end, I thank you for coming in. We're going to have you got so much that we want to bring in from you. Like maybe next time, more time you come visit us. And, podcast, it's like your home. Plus
Thank you so much.
you represent our Drew Nation, Sikh Nation. So we thank you. And at the end, I want to tell our viewers, hey, come out there when you listen to these videos or our podcast, just subscribe to our channel and we could bring more stuff out. Hey, even if you have some suggestions we should talk about things, just bring them out. And we'll try to bring those out. Like कोई भी बंदा जे कुछ सोचदा ना भी आज अही गल करनी चाहिदी सानू जी इस गल टॉपिक ते तुसीं गल करो या दसो सानू है ना ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੱਤ ਬਖਸ਼ੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਲਈਏ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਉਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰੋਤੇ ਲਈਏ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਈਵਨ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸਣੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ come on leave us a comment contact us and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਲਿਆਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ this is from the start our group you know ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਟੀਮ ਆ before I end it I just finally say please like, subscribe, and share. And
also, to add to that, if you guys are interested in the Sikh Rifle Association, we're going to leave you guys an Instagram link below. Please contact us with any comments and how to join, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you so much. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.